So good day, this is my presentation about my paper review of Smart Grid, the future of electric energy system. Who has done the work? It was written by Roger N. Anderson, Reza Ghaffarian, and Hamid Jarabi, and it was published under IEEE. These authors are professionals in electrical engineering and information technology or ICT. Their study focuses on how communication system can be used to make our power grid smarter and more efficient. In short, their paper talks about how the electric system from power plants all the way to the consumers can become a more connected and intelligent network. Goals or objectives of the study. So the main goal of the paper is to explore what the future of our electric energy system could look like and how it can evolve into what's called the smart grid. The authors wanted to show how information and communication technology or ICT can be added to the traditional power grid to make it smarter, more efficient, and more sustainable. They also aim to define what a secure smart grid actually is, describe its main parts like generation, transmission, and distribution. And they also explain how everything can work together as one big intelligent system. So basically, their objective was to show that we're moving into a new era where technology allows electricity and data to flow both ways, not just from the power plant to your home, but back again through communication and control system. Uh, Challenges before smart grids can fully work. In the paper, the authors talk about several technical challenges that still need to be solved before smart grids can be fully implemented. This includes making sure that the different systems and technologies can work together, as called interoperability, and also protecting the system from cyber attacks and data breaches. Another big issue is cost, since upgrading all power systems to power ones is very expensive. So even though the concept of smart grids is very promising, there are still many real-world problems to overcome first. Uh, what were their methods? The authors didn't do any experiments or collect data from people. Instead, they reviewed existing studies like reports and technologies related to smart grids. They used a conceptual approach, basically analyzing how different systems like power generation, transmission, and distribution can all connect using communication and automation technology. They also talk about how data is gathered in smart grids using sensors, monitoring systems, and communication networks, which help the grid detect problems and manage energy more efficiently. The data they use came mostly from secondary sources like government reports, pilot smart grid projects, and other studies that were already published. And finally, they built a conceptual model that explains how a smart grid works, where electricity and information flow both ways between power plants and consumers. What were their findings? The authors found that the smart grid can really change and improve how our power systems work. They said that future grids will allow both electricity and information to flow in multiple directions instead of the old one-way setup from the power plant to consumers. Their findings shows that smart grids can increase reliability by detecting and fixing faults automatically, improve efficiency by reducing power loss and balancing energy use, support renewable energy like wind and solar, and enhance communication between consumers and utility companies. They also mentions that smart grids can help us monitor energy in real time, make better decisions about power use, and build a more sustainable and eco-friendly energy use. So lastly, what were the gaps in their study or findings? Even though the paper gives a really good overview of the smart grid and its benefits, the authors also pointed out a few gaps and challenges that still need more research, and as mentioned before. One of the biggest gaps is cybersecurity and data privacy. Since the smart grid connects a lot of systems and uses two-way communication, is more open to cyber attacks. And another issue is economic feasibility. Upgrading traditional power systems to smart ones is very expensive, and especially for large areas. They also talk about standardization, meaning there's still no universal standard that allows different smart grid systems from different companies and countries to easily work together. And lastly, the paper didn't include any real world experiments or case studies. So the ideas are mostly conceptual, which means there still need practical testing and implementation. So even though the smart grid has a huge potential, it still faces technical, financial, and security challenges that researchers and engineers need to solve before it can be fully implemented. To sum it all up, this paper explains that the smart grid is the next big step for our electric energy systems. It connects everything from power generation to your home, and also using smart technology, automation, and data. The authors believe that smart grids will make energy use more reliable, efficient, and sustainable, but there are still challenges we have to overcome, especially in terms of security, cost, and standardization. So that's all for my presentation. Thank you for listening.